If you have a goal this year to have a well-stocked, flexible, frugal pantry, okay, now you're not going to spend millions of dollars on it, right? That can weather price spikes because those are happening all the time, shortages because those do tend to happen, and economic stress because there is literally nothing breathing that is not undergoing some kind of economic stress right now. Without panic buying or waste, you're in the right place. Hello, everybody, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. We are all about pantry preparedness because I believe that your pantry is the best insurance that money can buy. A well-stocked pantry will see you through many different kinds of emergencies. It's not the end of the world as we know it. It's the everyday emergencies like medical, job loss, financial, weather-related, right? Those are the ones that hit us the most frequently and what we need to prepare for. So today we're going to talk about preparing your pantry for the economic challenges of 2025. Let's get started. Number one, because it's always number one, start with your inventory. Okay? If you don't know what you have, you don't know what you need, and you'll end up wasting money rebuying something that you already have when you could have bought something that you need. Very important. Just a basic core inventory, okay? Write down everything in your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer. Now, obviously, you want to separate them on the list because the fridge stuff is not going to have as long of a life as the rest of the stuff. But you want to know what you have regardless. It's really simple. 2 pounds of rice, 6 cans of green beans, 1 jar of peanut butter. Who only has 1 jar of peanut butter? Seriously. Anyway, it prevents those duplicate purchases. That's important. It shows you where your gaps are. It helps you rotate your food. Having a good inventory that you visit 4, 3, 2, 1 time a year, okay, fine. Then that can help you, and it'll definitely help you save money. Number 2 is to stock up on frugal staples. What's a frugal staple? I'll tell you. Hold on. Wait a minute, okay? These are inflation resistant, okay? They're shelf stable, huge. That's huge in my world. And they're versatile because, yeah, if it does more than one job or is good for more than one dish, it is something that you should stock up on if you eat it today. Remember, the key is always don't stock it unless you eat it, because then you're just wasting money. So some really simple things to consider are grains like your rice, your oats, your pasta, cornmeal, barley, okay? Legumes. Oh yeah. So we've got our lentils, our split peas, our black beans. And remember, dried or canned beans or both. I definitely recommend both, okay? Next is flours. Now, commercially ground flour is only good for a couple of years. We can debate this all day long, or we can just say that for general purposes, it's good for a couple of years, shelf stable, moderate temperature, no matter where you live. If you live in someplace very humid, it's going to be different. It's different, okay? So I've had it last 10 years. That's nice, but seriously, I had it last 2 years. I'm not spending money on something that can't go beyond that. So if you're looking at commercially ground flour, you want to make sure that it is what you can consume within a year. Don't stock more than what you can consume within a year unless you know the rough time frame that it will go rancid in your climate. Your climate and the storage conditions, they are the deal breakers. They make all the rules, all of them. So consider all-purpose flour, some pancake mixes, but honestly, I would say just make your own pancake mix. It's not hard, okay? And it's really simple. All these things that I mentioned, they're inexpensive, super inexpensive, okay? They're also very filling. Nothing fills a belly like a carbohydrate, okay? And they also form a base for a lot of different meals, If you eat them today, they're a good thing to stock up on. Number 3, add some shelf-stable proteins. You know I'm all about the proteins, right? Ugly chicken for the win. Yes. So, chicken, tuna, salmon, beef, ground beef, sausage, ground pork, whatever. Shelf-stable proteins. They are phenomenal, and you can never go wrong with them, okay? So, definitely look at those. Now, it's not just the meats. It's also the dried beans and the canned beans, which again, I recommend having both versions, okay? And then there's peanut butter, there's powdered eggs, and If you are leaning on the vegetarian side, shelf-stable tofu. Yeah, there is. There's such a thing. Those proteins will save the day during an emergency or crisis situation. They will make a situation that is very difficult that much easier to get through because you know you don't have to worry about putting food on your table. It makes a huge difference. Protein is vital. I mean, seriously vital for satiety. So it makes you feel full longer than carbohydrates do. Okay. It's huge for strength. You have to have protein for strength, and it balances the meals. It just makes the meals balanced, and that's what we do. We don't want it all leaning one way, you know. Snickers bars, not dinner. I don't care what anybody says. It tastes good, but you know. Number 4, you want to be sure to include fruits and vegetables. Yes, but they come in so many different ways. Yes, they do. So produce gets expensive and it spoils very fast. Anybody that has a refrigerator and has bought it knows this. It does not have a long shelf life. Some of it goes much faster than other stuff. Some of it's eat the same day. Some of it, I might get a few days out of it. And oh my gosh, it's lasted a whole week. Shush, yes. But there are so many different ways to store your fruits and vegetables for consumption. You're going to love it. So examples for you are canned fruits and vegetables. So tomatoes, corn, beans, peaches, pineapples, pears, whatever, okay? Canned, commercially or home canned. The next one are frozen. Now, I love frozen green beans. I hate canned green beans, okay? So you have to figure out what your tastes are before you stock up. That's a big tip too, okay? So frozen spinach or broccoli or mixed berries, if you have power, if you don't lose power, if you actually have power, if you're not off grid, keeping frozen fruits and vegetables is a great alternative. The next one is dehydrated or freeze-dried. So you can do onions and carrots and, well, strawberries, you know, any freeze-dried food will last you a really long time unopened. And it's just another way to have the fruits and vegetables that you like and that your body needs. Keeping nutrition and a variety in your meals is huge. And having it not go bad and waste money is even bigger. Number 5, don't forget your fats and oils. Please don't forget your fats and oils, okay? Everybody needs it. It makes your brain work. Yes, it does. It makes your brain work, okay? So the problem with these is prices rise really quickly. Anybody that loves olive oil the way that I do, you've noticed that price going up, right? It's been so much fun to watch. Oils add flavor. Again, satiety, okay? And it's critical for baking and cooking. They really are necessary. So they're something that you need to consider. They are not long-term storage friendly, but within a year, within maybe 2, they're pretty good. Some of them, different ones react differently. Look at the ones that you like. I know coconut oil is an option. Lard is an option, but it goes bad really fast if it's real. Butter, ghee, you know, that kind of stuff. So examples of what to get if you use them, okay? Vegetable oil, olive oil, coconut oil, shelf-stable butter, which is called ghee, or shelf-stable butter powder, which again, you have to add that to an oil to make it more like the butter that you're used to, but it tastes really good. Crazy good. Number 6 is your baking and cooking basics. What do you mean by that? Okay, the basic stuff that you need. It allows you to make food from scratch, which is automatically going to save you a ton of money, right? And adapt to limited availability. So if they don't have the stuff that you're used to, you might have the ingredients to make it yourself. Is it as convenient? No. Is it a ton cheaper? Yes. But it also costs a little bit of time. Now, scratch cooking will save you money and it extends your options from processed foods that are too expensive, because most of your processed foods are too expensive. They're made in a manufacturing plant. They're going to cost more because there's all that staff and machinery and stuff. Okay, so the farther you get away from processed food, the better. But examples of what I'm talking about are baking powder, baking soda, yeast, salt, sugar, vinegar. Most of these last a really, really long time. Honey or molasses for sweetening and preserving, because everybody needs a little sweetening every now and then. Number 7 is your ready to eat and no cook items. This can be something very simple. This can be something very basic, okay? It's very helpful take it from somebody who does it all the time. For power outages, illness, or extreme budget constraints. When that budget gets so tight that it squeaks and then it stands up and throat punches you, yeah, that's not the time to go out for pizza, my friends. That's the time to rein it in and figure out some really inexpensive ways to eat. And sometimes that's the ready to eat or no cook items that you already have in your pantry. So examples for that are crackers, granola bars, canned soups, peanut butter, because come on, it's peanut butter, cereal even, food is food. Get it in your belly. That's what it's there for. Powdered milk, instant potatoes, and ramen noodles are also great things to add because those are quick, simple, easy things to be able to fix. You don't need a lot of prep for it, okay? Convenient, comfort, and energy without very much effort. And that's typically what you're looking for when you're dealing with an emergency situation. Number 8, beverages and morale boosters, okay? Now, I will tell you that I will do some sketchy stuff for coffee, okay? But coffee, tea, hot cocoa mix, electrolyte powders, yeah, drink mixes like Tang or Gatorade, that's what I'm talking about. So economic stress takes a toll on us mentally. It really does. And morale foods really matter. They make you feel better, even if it's only temporary, okay? It will make you feel better and like everything is not lost, okay? So take a look at those because small comforts make a really big difference. And, while I do not agree with stocking stuff for the purpose of bartering, coffee is a much better barter than ramen. Yeah. Number 9. Okay, non-food pantry essentials, because it's not always about the food, but it's about the food, but it's not always about the food, if you know what I mean. So prices are going to rise on these things too. And for some of us, they're just necessary. So there's something to consider. Toilet paper, dish soap, laundry detergent, toothpaste, trash bags, paper towels, feminine hygiene products, matches, foil, parchment paper, those kinds of things, if you use them today, are great to have. If you don't use them today, you might, but just get a little stash of them set aside in case, just in case, because in a situation where you've lost power or the city water is no good or a weather thing has happened and you don't have access to a lot of stuff, those are the difference between wasting your water on washing dishes or consuming the water the way that you're supposed to. So they just make life easier during an emergency and sometimes a non-emergency, okay? Stocking now prevents emergency trips and it prevents rising costs. I can tell you that my paper plates are a couple of bucks more expensive than they were a few years ago. Number 10 is to use your freezer wisely. And, the power grid is iffy on its best day. And with everything going on, they're talking about potential rolling blackouts this summer because of the heat that's going to happen in the West. My power goes out if you blink wrong. Okay, so use your freezers wisely. It's a budget extender if you have power. Okay, so if I see pork butt go on sale for 99 cents, yes, I'm going to go grab 3 or 4 of them. However, I am going to work really hard to rotate them into jars as quickly as possible because they will last longer on the shelf in jars than they will in the freezer if the power goes out. It's really something to keep in mind. Also, sales, okay? Butter. I'm guilty of having 42 pounds of butter in the freezer. Yeah, because I found sales. And I mean, not even recently. I found sales a couple of years ago. I'm still working off that butter. Butter, cheese, whether it's shredded or not. Cooked beans. Yeah, throw them in the freezer. Soups, garden produce. You can, make up meals. If you do large batch cooking or larger than what you would consume, then you can divide it and put one in the freezer for later. We have a frost warning tonight. I am pulling chili that I made 2 weeks ago, I think, out of the freezer. That's what's for dinner tonight. Yes. It's a great way to extend the budget so that you're not wasting food. It should not be a permanent storage spot for any one thing, Well, the butter, but it should not be. You need to be rotating through it all because that's what makes the most sense. Now, you want to be sure that you're shopping smarter, not just more. Don't shop more. Nobody needs to shop more. Not nowadays, right? Inflation means we need to make our dollars go farther. We need to hear them scream in agony as we are pulling them from our wallet. And it should be them screaming, not us, right? So, strategies to do that, there's a few. Track prices every week for those things that you buy on a regular basis. Just buying them on a regular basis, you should be able to tell when that price changes, even if it's from 76 cents to 79 cents. That adds up. So you want to be able to track those. Shop the loss leaders, those things that they're getting you to come to the store for, right? Like the case lot sales on, canned vegetables or something, or, ooh, pork butt for 99 cents. What else are you going to buy while you're there? Nothing, because I came here for the pork butt, So yeah, shop loss leaders and use those cashback apps or the store apps, even though I believe that they should be giving us the best price, this is their way of making sure that we come in. Okay, loyalty programs, discount grocery stores, because there are some, and dollar stores. Because even if it's $1.25 now, it's cheaper there than sometimes if you go to a regular grocery store. You need to keep track of the sizes, and the servings. But yeah, sometimes you can get really great deals at the $1.25 store. Number 12, yep, pantry rotation is huge. It is huge. You are wasting time, money, resources, energy, and space by buying something, putting it on a shelf, and walking away thinking that it's going to be good forever and a day later. It's not. That's not the way it works. Your pantry is an extension of your working kitchen, and you need to rotate through the food. First in, first out. It's big, okay? Label your purchases with open by, use by, bought at, whatever, Figure that part out, what works best for you, so that you know which can to grab first, whether it's the one in the front or the one that's in the back because you didn't put it in the front. Eat the oldest rice first. Yeah, even though rice lasts 30 years, eat the oldest one first. Replenish with new. When you make it gone, backfill it. That's the way to do it. It prevents waste. It keeps food fresh, and it avoids surprise shortages, because nobody likes surprises. Well, some people do, but I don't. Number 13 is to have a backup meal plan. I know some of you prefer to be spontaneous and I don't know what, but anyway, a backup meal plan. When prices spike, you might not be able to afford certain kinds of foods, right? So instead of hemming and hawing and spending money that you shouldn't on food that you honestly, could probably just replace with something else, figure out a different way to do it. Examples: beans and rice and canned vegetable. Perfect, okay? Oats and peanut butter with a banana, if you like peanut butter and bananas. And pasta with some oil and some garlic. Look it, we have dinner. Yes, we do, okay? So go to fallback meals. Reduce stress when money or food is tight. It makes all the difference in the world to embrace the rice and beans and vegetables, as opposed to feeling stressed and freaked out and whatever else because you couldn't afford the burger. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and go for the less expensive meals. Number 14, if at all possible, set aside pantry cash. Pantry cash is a beautiful thing to have because it allows you to do so much more. In a crunch, you may need to buy fast or in cash. That's very serious, okay? And with the power grid the way it is today, I think I've mentioned that, having cash on hand is a really good thing. Keep 20 to 50 bucks tucked in a pocket in your wallet or in your pantry area. Cash helps during sales, it helps during outages or temporary bank card issues. It's one of those things where if you know you have 50 bucks in a jar at home, specifically for pantry, and you're at the store and you see a phenomenal sale on something that you use all the time, you can flip-flop stuff around to get that $50 worth of that really great sale, and then take that $50 out and put it back in the bank, and then replace the $50 when you can. That pantry cash allows you a freedom to take advantage of sales and to make sure that if for any reason electronic purchases are not available, you have cash to make it happen. Number 15 is to build skills along with supplies, because just stacking it doesn't matter. I think I said it during our membership chat the other day. Owning a life straw does not mean you're good at water filtration. You actually have to know how to use the Life Straw, okay? So it's not just owning it that does you good. You have to know how to use it. So knowing how to make pasta instead of buying it, using what you have in your pantry, your flour and your egg and your water, knowing how to do different things will get you even farther than owning certain things. Skills matter. Scratch cooking, like your breads and your soups and your pastas, it's great. It is also supremely budget friendly. I mean, huge. So much cheaper to make it yourself. Canning and dehydrating surplus food is a great way to do this, okay? You can just put it on the shelf until next time. So skills future-proof your preparedness and cut dependency on overpriced convenience foods. That right there is going to save you so much money. So much money. If you click on this QR code right here, it's going to take you to a sample 7-day budget meal plan using the different things that I've talked about. Hopefully that will help you wrap your brain around how to make it work for you, because this is a time that's just it's so filled with uncertainties. We just don't know which way it's going to flip-flop today, So preparing for economic challenges. They're just going to be challenges because we'll make it through it. We will. But preparing for economic challenges and knowing that we can still eat, can still feed our families, that's what the pantry is all about. And that's what pantry preparedness is all about. If you want to check out some more videos on pantry preparedness, check out this playlist right here, my friends. Until next time, please be safe. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends. It's more important now than ever.